What's going on, everyone? So we got a lot to discuss today about Baby Doge. It's been forever since I've made a video, almost 2 weeks, or pretty much about 2 weeks. But we're going to talk about the price prediction since we have 0% taxes, so 0% fees. Now we're going to talk about the price prediction with the 0% fees, because going into this new bull market that we're in, we haven't quite reached altcoin season yet. And I'm going to show you some facts that prove we haven't entered altcoin season. We had the Bitcoin season and Bitcoin pumped huge. And yes, some altcoins went up as well, but we haven't actually had altcoin season. And I'll show you exactly why in this video. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, none of this financial advice. Let's get straight to it. Now, so first things first, we're going to be looking at some prices here with Baby Doge. We're at 8Z1683 right now. So it's fairly decent. We're down a little bit for the day, 2.5% in the last 24 hours down. We've went down from 1730, 8Z1730, down to 8Z1630, or 181680 today. So we went down a little bit, not too much. It wasn't too bad. The 24-hour trading volume is pretty low, $2.9 million. Right now, I would expect it to be higher than that, but it's not. But I will say, even though we did have the 0% taxes that happened, everything in the market has kind of been either stagnant or going down recently. So, like last week, like starting the week, actually, things started to go up a little bit. But now around this time in the last 24 hours, everything is typically down right now in the last 24 hours. So it's not too far-fetched for Baby Doge to be down as well. So there's that. Now, what I was talking about earlier with the prices of Baby Doge and why exactly we're not seeing like huge pumps in Baby Doge and everything else right now, it's mainly because we haven't really entered altcoin season. So I just kind of want to show some facts here when looking at the prices of these different cryptos. So we've seen Baby Doge went all the way up to 8Z3800 inside of the previous run that we had, right? We ran up really big inside of all these different cryptos. Baby Doge went up to 8Z3800. Bitcoin ran all the way up to 73K. So Bitcoin ran up to 73K. Baby Doge ran up to 8Z3800. And as you can see, Bitcoin went above its previous all-time high, yet Baby Doge did not. So Baby Doge hasn't necessarily reached what it could have reached during the bull run. And we're still inside of the bull run. We're just at the pullback area of the bull run. So it's still a bull run that we're in. We just haven't reached altcoin season or Memecoin season inside of that bull run yet. Even though meme coins and altcoins were going up, it definitely was not altcoin or Memecoin season. And I'll show you some things that kind of show you why. Because if you look over here at Solana did not reach its peak, yet Bitcoin reached its peak because it was Bitcoin season. It wasn't altcoin season. It was Bitcoin season. So Solana did not reach its peak. BNB did not reach its peak. But when you look over here, Bitcoin, reached its peak. But the whole overall crypto market cap, every single crypto combined, the whole crypto market cap did not reach its peak. The whole crypto market cap stopped, give or take around 2.89 million, or not million, $2.89 trillion is where the whole overall crypto market cap capped out on March 12th for this bull run. But that was not the all-time high. The all-time high was in 2021 when we actually had altcoin season. That was a whole $3 billion or $3 trillion market cap. So last year, or a few years ago, in 2021, we actually hit the peak of the whole overall crypto market. Whereas our last bull run that we just now had was on March 12th, the peak of that, we only reached 2.889 trillion in market cap. So we were a whole 100 billion off, well, 110 billion off from the all-time high. So what does that tell you? That tells you that since Bitcoin beat its all-time high, it got up to 73K and beat its all-time high of like 61K or whatever it got to, somewhere around there, or 63K actually. But since Bitcoin actually beat that area and it got all the way up to 73K, it shows you that Bitcoin was the one that was actually having the bull run, and not all the other altcoins. Because when you look at all the altcoins that were actually doing pretty good, they didn't reach their all-time high, especially BNB. BNB did not reach its all-time high. It got close to it. And then another thing that proves this theory that we haven't reached altcoin season or Memecoin season yet is when you scroll all the way down at the altcoin market cap, it's clear as day. The peak for the altcoins happened inside of November of last year. The same day when we had the peak of the whole overall crypto market cap, right? Well, the same time period around the whole crypto market, market cap hitting the peak. Well, guess what? The altcoins also reached their peak the same time inside of 2021. But during this last run up, this last little run that we had previously, it only reached 1.4 trillion in market cap for all altcoins. Whereas back in 2021, it was about 1.8 trillion inside of market cap. So what does this tell us? This tells us that what we just now had was not the altcoin season. What we just now had was not altcoin season. Now you're probably asking and wondering, why are we talking about this in a Baby Doge price prediction? Well, that's because Baby Doge has not benefited from altcoin season yet. That's why we're still not pumping. That's why we're still down, even though we just now had the 0% tax implemented, because we still have not experienced altcoin season at a 0% fee. So now that we have 0% fees and 0% taxes, when we actually get our altcoin season and we actually get our meme coin season, we're going to see a huge pump that we've never seen before, because now it's so much easier for whales to get inside of Baby Doge. Now it also makes it easier for them to get out too. So when we pump, we might see a big dump as well. That happens with anything. But we should be seeing a huge pump coming inside of Baby Doge when we get in this altcoin season, when we get in this meme coin season. We're going to see it coming. So like I said, Bitcoin had its season. Money kind of flowed out of Bitcoin and went into cash. It went into US dollars and all that, and it also went into some other altcoins. But people are waiting right now for the next pump inside the crypto market. And that money, eventually you're going to see Bitcoin maybe getting up to 80K. But after that, you're going to see all that money flowing out of Bitcoin. And that's when our altcoin and meme coin season should start happening. So when we see that, you'll see stuff like Solana going crazy. Solana getting above its previous all-time high of $259. You'll see Solana probably being $300, $400. You'll see BNB getting above its previous of $686 all-time high. And you'll probably see BNB getting up to $800, possibly even $1,000 during this bull run. And what does that mean for Baby Doge? Well, you're going to see Baby Doge getting above its all-time high, which was 8Z63. And we'll probably end up seeing 7Z1 plus, right? I'm not even going to say what right now because we got to do some math for that, but 7Z1 plus. So that's what we're going to find out now. Pretty much to sum all this up, we have not reached altcoin season yet. We have not reached meme coin season yet. Bitcoin has pretty much topped out, but altcoins and meme coins have not topped out yet. So Bitcoin has topped out, it pulled back, and now Bitcoin's probably going to keep running a little bit more. But once Bitcoin finally has that dump and the money starts flowing from Bitcoin into all the other altcoins, that's when we're going to start seeing the benefits inside of Baby Doge as well. So now that we got all that out of the way, now we can finally do the Baby Doge price prediction. And one of those things is also, I'm going to talk about the Baby Doge swap after we do the price prediction and why it's important for them to bring back the farms for Baby Doge swap so we can have a higher price. So, and when I say farms, I mean the core farms, because, we definitely need that. Now that we have 0% fees, it would definitely make sense for us to get that. But let's go ahead and do some price predictions here now. Now, considering that we have not entered meme coin or altcoin season, where could we quite possibly get to since we haven't reached those levels yet? Now, remember about Dogecoin, remember Floki, remember all these other coins and what they've done, right? So obviously Dogecoin has its own blockchain, right? Obviously we have stuff, it's kind of built, not built on Litecoin, it's built with the same, code that Litecoin used. But anyways, nevertheless, it has its own blockchain. So we can't really compare ourselves to Dogecoin. I would like to, but it's going to be hard to, since they're their own entity. So if we look at Floki, Floki is at 1.9 trillion fully diluted, 1.8 trillion or billion, 1.8 billion fully diluted, or 1.9 billion fully diluted, 1.8 million market cap, right? If Baby Doge hypothetically reached that, where would we be? We would probably be a little bit closer to 7Z1. So let's just go ahead and take our circulating supply here, and then we can go ahead and multiply that by let's just see exactly where we would be with something like that. So 1.5 billion in market cap here. Yeah, like I said again, it's not like we'll just out of nowhere reach something like this, but it's possible, right? So this is 3, 1, 2, 3, and now you can see this is 6Z1, one more 0, and then a 1 that's 7Z1. So at 7Z1, we'd be at 1.5 billion in market cap. So it's definitely possible for us to reach 7Z1. Now, when we come to this Memecoin and altcoin season, that's going to be the first target. We shouldn't be looking at 6Z1 right out the gate. We should really be looking at 7Z1. And then once we get past 7Z1, then we could start looking at 6Z1. So 7Z1 is what we want to look at. Obviously, this isn't the price prediction for the peak. The price prediction we're doing today is for the peak of the Memecoin season and the peak of the altcoin season for this next bull run that we're in currently right now. But this is just a median stopping point before we reach to that level. So 7Z1, 1.5 billion market cap is going to be that median point where we're going to stop at, right? Now, let's say you had $1,000 inside of Baby Doge at this current price, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we got 1682. So that's 8Z1682 gives you 594 billion Baby Doge, which is a lot of Baby Doge considering how much you were getting for the same amount of money when we were pumping earlier. Everyone wanted to buy once we were pumping, but now that once we're down, nobody wants to look at it. And we have 0% fees. I don't get it, but hey, I'm looking at buying some more right now. So I'm just gonna put that out there. But like I said, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor at all. Just kind of doing some price predictions here. But let's go ahead and look at 7Z1. Now let's say you sell that same 594 billion at 7Z1 with 0% taxes, which is the best part of this new price prediction. Now you actually get to benefit all of the money there. So that's 5.9K. Let's just round it up to $6,000. So you're going from $1,000 to $6,000. Let's just put it at a macro level. This is 7Z1, by the way. This is the median stopping point, like the minimum stopping point, really. This is where we stop before we continue to move up to 6Z1. So this is almost 100% guaranteed. I'm not going to say 100%. I'm going to say almost. So it's like 90-something% guaranteed. It's not guaranteed at all, actually. Let's just say it's not guaranteed, but there is a small percentage or a percentage in general for it to actually get up to here. So we just got to say that as this disclaimer, because some people will take it literally. They'll be like, oh, you said that we're going to get all this money. No, you're not going to get any money. Shut up. All right? Shut up. So what we can see here, though, with Baby Doge is us going from, 8Z1682 all the way up to 7Z1, right? And that's not far-fetched. It's not far-fetched at all. So that's $1,000 going up to $6,000. That's $10,000 going up to $60,000. That's $100,000 going up to $600,000. And this is at like a minimum level here because it's only going from 8Z1682 to 7Z1, which is a $1.5 billion market cap. Floki is already at $1.8 billion market cap. Baby Doge has a bigger audience than Floki. The only difference is Baby Doge has not benefited from a bull market and from an altcoin season and a Memecoin season all together with a 0% tax. And now we're finally being able to do that for the first time with a 0% tax, which is going to incentivize people more to buy in on Baby Doge. We also have more holders than Floki. Let's all remember that as well. So we have that out the way. Now, let's look at 6Z1 now. All right. Well, first let's look at like 5Z7. So let's take the current circulating supply, multiply that by 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, put a 1 there. That's 7Z5. I meant not 5Z7, 7Z5. And when we look at that, that's 7.5 billion in market cap. 7.5 billion in market cap. So now let's take that same $1,000 and divide it by the same market cap where we're at now. So if you look at that, that's I need one more zero here actually. All right. So that is 8 zeros here, and that's 8Z1682, giving us 594 billion coins. Multiplying that by 7Z5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, add one more 1 or one more 0, and then a 5. So that's 7Z5. That's 29.7K. You see how big that stretched just from going from 1.5 billion in market cap to 7.5 billion in market cap. $1,000 to $29,000. And it gets better. If you had $10,000, it goes from $10,000 to $297,000. And if you don't believe me, we can do that math as well. So we can take the 10,000, 1, 2, 3. And I'm not even going to do the $100,000 because most people don't have $100,000 to their name. But I think most people can scrape up $1,000, and some people can scrape up $10,000. I won't say most. All right. So this is AZ1682. Actually, I kind of messed that up. Actually, no, I did not mess it up. That is actually 5.9 billion. So that was actually right. But yeah, go ahead and divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 82. And then you get 5.9 billion coins. And then you can multiply that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You multiply that by 7Z5. And boom, you get $297,000, like I said. So it's $10,000 going to $297,000. Whereas when we looked at the previous one, that was $1,000 going to $29,000. Either way, that's a huge jump, right? And if you divide that by $1,000, well, this is for the $10,000. Divide that by $10,000, that's a 29x on your money for both of those. So us going to 7Z5 from where we're at now is a 29.72x. 29.72x. We'll just round it up to 30x. That's a 30x from where we are now going up to 7Z5. Now I'm not done because I'm still staying true to this. Look, I'm telling y'all, I'm staying true to this till the end. 6Z1 is still the price prediction. But now we have a better way to get there because now we're at a 0% tax. We're about to benefit from the biggest altcoin season, the biggest Memecoin season, and the biggest bull run because it has the most money in it, has the most eyes on it. We actually have institutional investors coming into the market. So that's why this is going to be the biggest. So now we're just going to look at $1,000. Or actually, but first, before we do that, I want to show you guys what the market cap will be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 61, 15.1 billion. It's still going to be that, right? Still going to be at $15.1 billion. Now, a lot of people are going to say, hey, that's not possible, blah, blah, blah. I really don't care what those people say. So that's going to be $15.1 billion. The fully diluted will be about $42 billion. And we can do that math for that too as well. So it's going to be a lot of money, obviously. Million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like I said, fully diluted 42 billion. Fully diluted really doesn't matter because you see our fully diluted says 700 million, but our actual market cap is 254 million because the coins that are burned are never going to be circulating, and that's where the other supply is going. So the only thing circulating is the only thing we need to worry about. The money inside of the burn wallet, that's never going anywhere for the rest of its time being. So it really does not matter. So just saying, just had to break that down for people. So we're not even looking at fully diluted. We don't care about that. So $15 billion is that goal. That's 6Z1. Now let's take $1,000 divided by where we are now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1682 gives you 594 million. Or no, 594 billion coins multiplied by 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's 61. $59,000. $59,000 from $1,000. And if we divide that by $1,000, that's a 59.45x. Let's just round it up to 60. That is a 60x. So we're looking at a 60x here with Baby Doge. We're not looking at 100x because the 100x, we're already doing the 100x, right? Because if you think about it, starting from 8Z1 or really starting from 9Z7, where we were a while ago, or 9Z5, that's way more than 100x going up to 61. So the 100x technically is going to happen before we hit 6Z1 because we started the 100x prediction when we were at like 9Z7, if we're being completely honest here. But that doesn't matter. What we really want to look at is the 60x that we're pretty much going to be doing. So I keep going to $10,000 because that's really my goal to have in Baby Doge. $10,000. $1,000 is cool because that gets you up to $59,000. But my only problem with that is I live in the U.S. It'll be short-term capital gains tax at 37%. So that's $59,000 minus $21,000. So I'd be left with $37,000. And I don't know about y'all. I want to be left with more than 37,000. I'd rather be left with 370,000 than 37,000. So that's why I keep looking at the $10,000. Like this is more of a viable option for me. So, like I said, we got 1682. So that's 5.9 trillion coins. multiplied by 61. That gets us all the way to $594,000, a 60x from where we are right now. 10,000 going to 594,000. Now that's cool, but when we look at this and we do our math, everyone lives inside of a different place. By the way, everyone lives in a different place. 37% taxes. I mean, I live inside of US, so short-term capital gains tax is 37%. Just to kind of confirm that with you guys, because I know some people probably don't believe me that short-term capital gains is 37%. Let's just go ahead and do this. Short-term capital gains. So I know the long-term one is like 15%, but we're going to look at short-term. Let's see. 2024 short-term and long-term capital gains tax. All right, there we go. So as you can see here, the highest bracket. Short-term capital gains tax rates for 2024. So since short-term capital gains tax are taxed as ordinary income, short-term capital gains tax mirror the federal income tax brackets, which also factor in filing status. Here are the short-term capital gains tax rates for 2024. Okay, so this is actually a little bit different than last year. They actually upped it, which is good. It's good that they upped it for us. Not up the tax, but they upped the amount that it is before it's taxed at 37%. So this could be difficult for some people to understand, but I'm just going to try to break it down for pretty much as easy as I can. So the first $11,600 is taxed at 10%. And then the second and then the first and then after that up to 47,000 is taxed at 12. Then after that up to 100,000 is taxed at 22. Up to 24,000 is 191. So it's it's a little bit different for some people to understand, but down here it says to calculate capital gains, you'll need your basis or the cost of the asset. Gains aren't a guaranteed possibility. However, investors may incur capital losses, meaning that the basic amount was more than the amount they eventually sold the asset for. Capital losses can be used to offset capital gains taxes, but they must first offset capital gains and the same type. Blah, 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 blah. Bottom line, capital gains can be tricky, especially if you wait too long to understand how they complicate your financial status at tax time, but knowing how long you will hold assets before selling. So pretty much what they're saying is if you hold for longer, you can avoid short-term capital gains tax, right? If you hold longer than a year. But if you don't, you're looking at a higher tax rate, okay? That's essentially what we're looking at. That's essentially how we're going to look at it. So I just look at it as 57 or 37%, right? But technically it's going to be below that. So it's going to be 35% if we actually look at the amount that you make off $10,000. So that's just like a personal thing, I guess, for me, since I'm in the US. Now everybody's in the US, so it doesn't matter for everybody. But anyways, 37% is $219,000 in taxes paid. Just minus that by 594,000. That leaves me with $374,000. So that's still nice for me. But anyways, 61 is definitely possible in my personal opinion. We're now at 0% taxes for Baby Doge, so it's going to be a lot easier for us to reach that amount. And like I was saying earlier, with Baby Doge swap, they need to bring the core farms back. Now that we have 0% taxes, it'll be so much better to farm Baby Doge because you can actually make income off of it. We need to see this. I'm going to make a whole video talking about why they need to bring the core farms back so we can earn Baby Doge and actually earn income from it that is now taxed at 0%. Yes, it's going to be taxed by your federal government, your local state taxes, and your city taxes, depending on what country, state, and city you live in. But still, we don't want to be taxed by the government, the local government, which is the state, and then the county, which is the citywide taxes. And for the US, there's a lot of different things. Like there's a lot of different intricacies with taxes in the US. But we don't want to have to be taxed at the crypto level by Baby Doge, and we're no longer being taxed at 10% because that 10% was buy and sell. So that's 20%. And then we had the 37% capital gain. So if you think about it, like we were looking at 57% taxes right out the gate. We don't want that. And now it's no longer like that anymore. So now we don't have to worry about that. That's why we need to get back all of our core farms so we can earn Baby Doge inside of Baby Doge swap. And I'm going to make a whole video on this again talking about it. Maybe it'll raise some attention to the developers. So hopefully they bring that back once we start talking about that some more. And I'll make multiple videos until they finally do bring it back. Kind of like how I made multiple videos about the 0% tax until they finally implemented it. And now I'm going to be making multiple videos about Baby Doge swap core farms so they can bring that back because I really want to earn Baby Doge rewards. So that is a lot. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this. 15 billion market cap. It's not far-fetched at all. 6Z1, that's still the price prediction. It's just going to be a lot easier for us to reach it. That's why I wanted to make this update video. And I promised y'all I would make it, and I did. Took me a while. I had a lot of work to do, a lot of stuff to do outside of YouTube and everything. And yeah, this video definitely took some research. Like usually in my videos, I just think like, this, that, and I can do it all impromptu. This video, I did it impromptu as well. I do all of my videos impromptu, but I do research before I make the video. So I did all the research with the current market caps of all the different high priced cryptos. I did the research on the previous market cap of the all-time high for the whole overall crypto market. And then I look at that at all the altcoins, and then I compared them with BNB and then Solana and Bitcoin and Baby Doge. And then I seen, look, there's a clause in here that we need to point out. And that was that Bitcoin reached its all-time high during this run, but all the other altcoins did not. Altcoins have not had their run yet. Yes, we had pumps in altcoins, but it technically didn't have the bull run for the altcoins or the meme coins. So that was definitely needed to be spoken about at the beginning of the video. But anyways, this is pretty much all I got for y'all today. I'll do a technical analysis video on a different one because this is getting pretty long. But, just to kind of sum it up here, looking at the momentum wave bands, typically, and like I said, it's typically once we hit the bottom of the momentum wave bands, we typically start to rise like that. But the reason why we're not seeing a rise after we hit it there and there is because it's actually zeroing in on itself. So you're seeing it squeeze. And when it squeezes like this, it gets to a point where it has a pump. So we should be seeing a pump coming up very, very soon. That's why we're seeing the momentum wave band squeezing in like that. Every single time it happens like that, it pumps. Actually, you can see it here, how it's squeezing in. And then it had a little bit of a pump. It wasn't a big one. Well, actually, it was kind of decent. From 8Z 1300 all the way up to the Fibonacci retracement at 8Z 2200. So that squeeze is happening again. You can see here how it squeezed down here. And once it squeezes, it finally has its pump and breaks out. It happens time and time again. There was another squeeze down here with the momentum wave bands. Squeeze down there, and then it finally had its pump. So you get the drift. It does it every time. And sometimes the squeeze happens for a while before it pumps, like how I did down here. It was squeezing for a while. It got really, really small, and it finally pumped. Squeezed down here, finally pumped. Started squeezing here, and you get the drift, right? But anyways, like I said, we should be having a pump coming inside for Baby Doge pretty soon. Now, the price could continue to go down to the Fibonacci at 8Z1250. It could happen. Like the squeeze could become so tight, and big pause right there. But the squeeze could become so tight that it ends up going down there and then pumps. But I don't think that's going to happen like that. I personally believe, if anything, maybe 8Z 1400 at the lowest. Maybe it could go down to 8Z 1250. But what I do know is that we're more than likely going to have that pump after that squeeze. And we're looking at the Fibonacci at 8Z 2300. So that's what I'm looking at for there. Anyways, this is pretty much all I got for y'all today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Check out the link in the description for Chart Prime. Go ahead and sign up for that. 7 days money back guaranteed. Use that discount code on there on the website. You'll see it. All that good stuff. Definitely check that out. And like I said, 6Z1 is the price prediction, 15 billion market cap. Let's go. As always, I'll be back with another video.